It was approximately 7 million years ago when our beautiful and lively planet Earth saw the creation of a new species, Homo sapiens. Since then, we Homo sapiens have seen a great evolvement in ourselves. We found fire, built tools, started agriculture. We built walls, we built the pyramids, and then technology came into use. Math, science, history, we unraveled the mysteries, and at this very present day, we Homo sapiens have developed into human beings, the most powerful creatures on this planet. Hello everyone, my name is Siddhant Jain, and the topic for my talk is social intelligence, how can it be cultivated? With the developments in human beings over millions of years, different philosophies about certain daily life needs have also emerged, and one of those is socialism. Socialism for 1950s and 1960s population would mean a process through which social and cultural continuity are attained. But today, its definition is simply converted to sharing our daily life on social media. The captor of our social life, social media, is assumed as socialism. In simple words, today's generation has misled the concept of socialism. Thus, they have misled the concept of the basic necessity of this modern world, social intelligence. We have definitely heard of IQ or intelligent quotient, which is a basic intelligence and deals with our learning caliber. We have also heard of EQ or emotional quotient, which is our emotional intelligence and deals with our emotions. But social intelligence is kind of new to our ears. Basically, social intelligence is the capacity of people to know about themselves and others. Social intelligence is based on the concept of social neuroscience, social dealing with the society and neuroscience dealing with the nervous system. It is a branch of science that has emerged recently and simply states that our brain is designed to connect with the brains of other people. Inquisitiveness, self-assurance, self-control, adaptation, self-confidence. When we talk about these qualities, we always think that these are the qualities that a successful person possesses. But many of us are unaware that these are the qualities that a social intelligent person comprises of. Though social intelligence is one of the most important intelligences that a person must cultivate, the question arises, can social intelligence be cultivated? And the answer to this question would be an absolute yes. Although a certain person might ask, why should social intelligence be cultivated? And the answer would be, every social intelligent person in this world is not successful, but the world's most accomplished and successful people are social intelligent. But the question that concerns us the most and is the most troublesome is how can social intelligence be cultivated? And this is the reason why this question would be discussed and answered by me with utmost priority. Youngest Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai quoted, "One child, one teacher, one book and one pen can change the world." When we roll through the pages of history, we find that this statement was actually proved right. During the late 18th and early 19th century, works of writers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Montesquieu, and Mikhail Bulgakov brought an enormous change in the mindset of millions of people, which led to the historic revolutions in the golden books of world history, French Revolution and Russian Revolution. They couldn't have able to do this if they didn't believe on their own abilities and if they didn't have the courage to sell their ideas without concerning about the society. We need to comprehend that a person can only change the society, can only bring a change in the society if he is self-confident, believes in himself and has the guts to share his ideas with other people without concerning about the society. As we discussed before, social intelligence is the capacity of people to know about themselves and others. The word others suggests here that having a strong, fruitful and diverse relationship is a key in achieving social intelligence. When I'm talking about relationships here, I'm not only talking about the love relationships, but I'm also talking about the relationships with your friends and family. Psychologist Sheldon Cohen of Carnegie Mellon University conducted a study on more than 500 men and women of different age groups, ranging from 25 to 60 years. The study confirmed that a person with diverse social contacts is much more healthier than a person with lesser number and lesser diverse social contacts. Scientifically stating, diverse social relationships induces a feel-good factor in our immune system, which boosts its ability to attack the invading viruses. We can simply state that a person who is much more social intelligent his body is much more healthier. When we talk about the fruitful and diverse relationships, what could be a better example than the famous American TV sitcom Friends? It shows that having a strong friendship can fill a life with ecstasy. The pickup line, "How you doing?" expresses that showing interest in one another is the key in building relationships. American activist Brian H. McGill quoted, "One of the most sincere form of respect is actually listening to what another has to say." Therefore, the best, the easiest and the most effective way of showing interest in another person and building relationship is to listen to what they are saying. It seems like a piece of cake, but we should always keep this thing in mind, that listening is a skill, and just like other skill, it should be developed. Nelson Mandela once said, "Youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow, but we future leaders are really impatient when it comes to listening." It is basic human nature that a person loves to speak more than to listen. I wasn't a listening kind of a person too. I always pretended to pay attention when I wasn't, and always tried to do certain things just to hold the conversation. Back in 7th grade, our school organized a debate competition, and just before the debate competition, I contracted an irritating throat infection. I wasn't able to utter a single word. And soon, during the debate, I was reduced to just nodding and arms. But this gave my companion to express his ideas freely. After the debate, I thought that he would be really mad at me as I turned out to be a shutter, but at my amazement, he actually considered me as a fascinating conversationalist. In my own mind, I asked myself, how could this happen? Well, listening allowed me to have a relaxing and comforting conversation, and allowed my companion and gave him the right to be freely expressive. Since listening is such an important skill, then how can it be developed? Just putting yourself in someone else's shoes would enable you to develop this listening skill. But why should I put myself in someone else's situation? According to me, when a person is consuming his time to just listen your views, it is your primary duty to consume your time and pay attention to his talks and listen to his views. With listening comes speaking. Listening and speaking are just like bread and butter or car and petrol. One completes another. If a person lacks any one of these qualities, he is way lacking behind in his goal of cultivating social intelligence. Yes, it is true that a social intelligent person is a damn good listener, but it is a fact that a social intelligent person is an excellent communicator and presenter. Does a mere thought of going to a gathering filled with strange people freaks us out? Do we have butterflies in our stomach when we are asked to present something on a stage in front of a large audience? Many of us would answer these questions as yes. But there was a time when I answered these questions as no, because I thought of myself as an excellent communicator and presenter. But my disillusion was demolished when I was asked to sing in front of a large audience and I backfired. I was really excited when my mom asked me to do this, and I just gave it an instant yes. But just before my performance, my feet felt sore. I was shivering. My full body was filled with extreme nervousness. And I couldn't take it, and I just refused to perform on the stage. And at that very moment, I realized that I need to develop these communication and speaking skills. And how could I do so? Just remembering these certain points would help us to develop these speaking skills. Always respect your audience. Never disrespect them. They are consuming their time to listen to you. It's your primary duty to respect them. Use appropriate language according to the situation. Always use decent language. It would create a decent impression on the other person. And the last and the really important point, be aware of what you want to come away with that conversation, what message you want to give away with that conversation, and what learning you want to gain from that conversation. At last, I would just like to conclude that when we only think of ourselves, our world seems to contract. Our world seems smaller, and our problems bloom larger. But when we think of ourselves and others as well, our world seems to expand. It enlarges, and with this, our problems are not much troublesome. Let society emphasize on IQ, books, etc., but never forget that relationships play a major role in our life. Thus, practice social intelligence. Thank you.